right now we're going into this season of the holidays, but right after the holidays, we go into what's our resolution, right? And what do we want to accomplish for the new year? And we've been saying this for the past maybe month or two is that we need to start this right now. Like, let's not wait till January 1st. Whatever you want to accomplish, you start right now. This way, you're ahead because our results that we get months later is a result of the actions we take today, right? So, what I want to jump into saying that is when I was sitting with ET this past week, we was talking about he was talking about like what are your fears, right? What is your Goliath? What's holding you back? And how do we face these fears and how do we face these challenges, right? So of course, just repeating some of him and just going through some of the things he said because he's a pastor as well, so very biblical, biblical. Yeah, that word. He's very biblical. So he's like, "What is your Goliath?" Right? If people know the story of David and Goliath, right? Most people do. You don't have to know the Bible. Like, what is your Goliath? What's holding you back? What are your fears that you have to face? Right? So some of the giants, some of these Goliath, some of these fears that is everything wrapped into one, right? Some of the things that I'll just list because I don't know what everybody's going through, but I'll let you know how we take them head on at the end. Is that I just want you to know these facts and figures. One, a lot of people, and I don't know if you're one of them, but a lot of people are facing financial hardship right now, right? 77% of Americans have a financial hardship. That's a giant. That's something we have to face. The second thing people are facing is health challenges, right? 72% of Americans are facing health challenges right now. Third thing is that 50% of Americans right now are facing negative and toxic relationships right now. About 46 million Americans right now are facing addiction, right? The next thing people are facing, and we're going to talk about these last two a little bit more, is that a lot of people trying to get to their goals, how to reach their dreams, how to complete their resolutions are one, they have a lot of distractions, right? So are we limiting our distractions and what's going in here and what are we seeing through here and what are we speaking as well? Are we limiting those distractions? And then the last thing about our giants or the fears we have to face, which is why one of the reasons why we do this mindset call 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9:30 a.m., is that a lot of people have limiting beliefs and they do not believe in themselves. And we need the good people, right, to start believing themselves because there's a lot of bad people out there who believe themselves better than the bad people, and that's why they're accomplishing more than you. Or there are people out there you should be ahead of, but what happens is we stop ourselves because of the limiting beliefs and because of our fears, right? So one thing to shape that in whatever area that you're struggling with is one, get yourself like a coach, get yourself an accountability partner, get yourself somebody you can run with, get yourself in a community because it all of it is about a mental change, a mental environment. And that's why we call this the morning mindset call. Because Chris always says this, right? Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. Because again, bringing it back biblical a little bit, is that when you repent, I know one of the definitions of repent is you have to change the things you are doing wrong. But the other definition of repent is that we need to change our mind about things and how we look at things and how we view things, right? So it's very important to try to get around those people to change our thinking to get where we need to go. And with those different things, right? Financial hardship, get you a financial coach or get you somebody who knows how to handle money better. Health challenges, not just the doctor, but that's why there's personal trainers out there. So this way we don't have to do it ourselves. And this way we can get the learning curve quicker to where you want to go quicker because they already did the research. They already did the study, right? So while we're trying to Google everything, which is not a bad thing, right? Because we need to start somewhere. And while we're trying to YouTube things, try try to get those people around you. Toxic relationships. Get a therapist, right? A lot of people in our community, black and brown community, right? Speak for myself, don't like therapists. I love a therapist. I have a therapist now. See them once every 2 weeks just to get out my head sometimes, right? Because sometimes we get stuck in our head and we gives ourselves the same answers all the time, right? And then with that being said, right, and just taking the words from ET and sharing it with you, right, is that he said that fear is not a gift, right? So don't be afraid and do it with faith. And just know that internally that you are enough from where you're at and what you have. And just know that you are not defeated and that it will work out. And I need you to believe that internally, right? I'll repeat that again that you are enough, you are not defeated, and it will work out. Most oftentimes, we think we need all the right things in place. We think we need every uh, dotted I and crossed T, right? And in some cases, that may be true, right? But we need to make better decisions and faster decisions. And with the decisions we make the decision right. Because not every decision will be right, but from the decisions we make it right. Right. And some people don't understand that. So we need to, and I'm speaking to myself as well. Just know that we are enough. We are enough. Right. Um, and then I want you to think about the areas where you feel possibly personally that you may be losing or you may be not winning or you're maybe not there yet. And right, if you can write this down, or this is one of your homeworks, I got like 3 homeworks today. This is one of your homeworks, is that one, what are the strategies that you have been using that have not been working? Right? Because sometimes we're quote unquote losing, or sometimes, let me not say losing, it's not working out because we're using the wrong strategy, right? And we need to use the right strategy. It's like, very easy. It's like eating, right? If I keep on eating fried foods, if I say, oh, eat broccoli, but I'm eating fried broccoli every day, right? You might be eating the right thing, but using the wrong strategy, right? Think about it. Right thing, wrong strategy. So maybe you're using the wrong strategies. Maybe you're focused on the wrong thing. And especially, right, one of the things I said in the beginning, we get distracted very easily. So sometimes we're not focused on the right, we are not focused on the right thing. And sometimes we're not laser focused on the right thing as well. Because I'll give you an example. Think about like a shooter, right? Snipers get paid a lot more money than somebody who hold like a regular gun. Why? Because sniper use one bullet to hit their target, right? So you want to hit your target, but you have to be laser focused on this thing, right? And stop being distracted by so many other things. And one of the questions, right? Because there was a Q&A at the end, and I'll just throw this in. There was a Q&A at the end, and this lady, right, um, making well over 6 figures and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I need to make more money, and I do this, and I do that, and I do this. But what should I do?" And Eric Thomas just simply said, right, because sometimes we're stuck in our head, right? So he just asks questions, right? And the question was, well, which one makes you more money? A. All right. What does the other two do? They do this. Well, just focus on A. That's like sometimes it's that simple, right? We get overwhelmed. It's that simple. What makes you more money? Well, talking to more people. So then why are you doing the other things that don't make you more money? And if those things, now this goes to my next point, if those things have to get done, but A makes you more money, then maybe we need to build a team or hire people to focus on those things. Because sometimes, and I know some of us in here are like that, we become these solopreneurs, or we think we have to do it ourselves, or sometimes we don't trust anybody. But sometimes we need to just pay somebody to do that one thing so we can X times 10 the thing that is working for us. And it doesn't even have to, I know I'm talking about business, but it doesn't even have to be business. It could be within your job, it could be within your career, it could be within your family, your health, your finances, right? If you want to get to that place quicker, I promise you, if there's a wedding coming up and it's 6 months away, you'll hit that goal of 6 months, whatever your weight loss is, if you was to hire a trainer versus doing your assist, doing it yourself. Most likely guaranteed. I'm saying it's not possible to do it by yourself, but guaranteed if you hire a coach, they'll bend that learning curve, right? So know those things, and then the next thing he goes on to say with these fears, these battles, and everything is that the real battle is not physical. The real battle is not physical. It's mental. It's all up here, ladies and gentlemen. It's in your mind. One thing he said over and over and over and over again, and one thing that repeated with the three multimillionaires that I got to sit with these past week is that everything is in your mind. The beliefs that you have right now is in your mind. The beliefs that were instilled in you today is from past trauma. It's from a belief that somebody gave you. It's from an opinion that you should not have taken that you hold on to today. And so he didn't say this, but when I was in church 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, my pastor said this, which resonated to everything that I learned this week, that sometimes we need to have short term thinking because we hold on to something that happened 3, 4, 5 years ago that does not serve us today. And you need to let that go. And I can't tell you what that is for you. But hopefully by the end of this, you'll recognize that, or you'll do the homework I have for you in place, or the plan of action I have in place for you to identify what that is. Right? And then he goes on to say that when you go to do something, when you go to accomplish it, we go with it, we go with we go within it with disbelief, and we've already lost. Whatever we're trying to accomplish, you need to walk into it with the belief that you are going to win, that you are going to accomplish. Because half the battle, again, back in your mind, half the battle is you believing that you're going to win, that you're demanding you're going to win, that you're going to take control, that you're going to win. And stop disbelieving that you're not, because God didn't give you that spirit of fear. He gave you that spirit of love, winning, and abundance. But you need to take the actions to believe in that for yourself. Because that is, for most of us, the reason why we need to get to that next thing is your family, is your health, is, breaking generational curses, whatever it is. So disassociate yourself with that fear. And then he goes to say that giant, that fear, right? We need to give it a new meaning, right? And I'll give you one example that you know what? I give you an example for me because this resonated with me too. So growing up, the 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 subject I failed at and got the lowest grade in was English, right? English was my lowest grade. So I always felt growing up that, listen, I cannot construct a sentence correctly. I cannot speak fluently. And I had that belief growing up, right? But then I needed to change my association and my meaning behind that because, and so my old belief was, because I'm bad in English, I'm not going to speak well. I'm not going to write well. But then now my belief was, oh, because I'm not doing well in English, I just need to write more. I just need to speak more. I need to read more. Right. So now I'm giving it a new meaning. And that's the power that I gave within that right there. So I changed the meaning, right? Instead of saying I am fat and I can't lose weight, you can say, hey, I have this excess weight and I just need to eat better, right? So we're giving it a new meaning. So what is that new meaning for you in that area of fear or the place you want to get better, right? For yourself. And then the next thing about that too is that nobody can do that for you. Because sometimes we look for that handout of somebody doing it for us and they can't, right? We need to do that for ourselves, right? Because, and I'm skipping around, but look, in a basketball game or any sports, right? They're both competing to win. And with a winner, there's a loser, right? And I want you to win. Like it may not be today. I want it to be today. It may not be tomorrow, but we have to do the practice now. So when we get in that arena, we're walking in with the belief that we win. So I need you to know that you have to take the action it needs for you to accomplish that goal and get over that fear, right? And some words, just like I told myself about the English, that I need to change that meaning. Some words that I want you to use in your vocabulary moving forth, right? If you're writing this down, write this down. If not, maybe I'll text it. Just text me, email me, right? Is that I want you to start saying, I am powerful and finish that sentence. I want you to start saying, I am demanding. I want you to start saying, I am in control. I am decisive. I am committed. I am resilient. Because those things will lead to the belief and the action and slay that giant of fear that rests in you to accomplish what you need to do, to get over this addiction, this financial hardship, this relationship with hardships, this indecisiveness that sits in you. I need you to repeat these words. I need you to find words that give you power instead of leave you powerless. So use these words. If you don't want to use these words, find your own words. Find your own affirmations. Read this every morning that you wake up. Read this every morning when you go to sleep. I am powerful. I am demanding. I am in control. I am decisive. I am committed. And I am resilient. Because I want to promise you that no giant, I want to promise you that no bad break, no sickness, no addiction can stop whatever God's plan has for your life. And all the forces of darkness cannot stop what has been ordained for you. And I need you to believe that. I need you to. Right. And then ET goes to say that there's three things. There's three things you need to do. These three things. And I want you to associate good things with these. Is that one, you need to be driven. Like where are you going? Why are you going there? Who are you doing this for? I need you to write this down, right? Not now, but not now, but be driven. That's one, right? The second thing is be controlling. You need to control the situations because we let other people control us, right? That's why it's so easy for people to go to a 9 to 5 because they tell you when to clock in, when to clock out, when you go on break, when you can have vacation, how many vacations. But whether inside or outside of that, I need you to be controlling and control yourself. Because when we get outside of that 9 to 5, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what schedule we have for ourselves. And we need to be controlling. And the third thing is you need to be demanding. Know what you want. This goes back to what I was saying. Believe that it's done for you and be demanding. Tell people what you have. Because sometimes we become like a people pleaser, right? And sometimes we just go ahead and say yes, 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 yes. But know that being demanding, controlling is also saying no because you're making you a priority. And that's what we need to do moving forth. We need to make ourselves a priority and stop letting other people and these outside influences control us, right? So some things, and is this all right? So sorry guys, give me like 3, 4, 5 minutes, 5 more minutes. Just two more things I want to get with you. So how do you defeat this fear? How do you get over this hump? So the first thing, if you're writing, write this down. If not, call me, text me. I'll get it over to you because I know some people at work. Is that one, get clarity on your goals. Get clarity on your goals. But when you write those goals down, write down the consequences of what happens when you do not achieve those things, right? Write your goals down, right? You know what happens if you do achieve them. Oh, if I eat healthy, go to the gym, I'll be healthy and stuff. But what are the consequences you don't want to endure? I'm going to get sick. This cancer is going to come back. This addiction is going to come back. I want you to fight that. So know what the consequences is and attach a why to it. Why are you doing this thing? Who are you doing this for? Right? And let that external thing be the internal reason you keep on going. Right? And once you identify this, I want you to go ahead and attack it head on and slay the giant's head. As soon as you know what that is. Like stop procrastinating. The procrastination's done. Don't wait for January 1st to start that gym, to get better with your money, to do what you need to do. Join a community, get a coach, get somebody, right? And the last things and the last thing I want you to do as part of your plan of action, not your homework, your plan of action to reach your dream, your goals, and to get to that next step in your life, whatever that is for you, is one, again, recognize your giants. Write down everything you fear. Write it down. I don't care if it's one thing or it's 10 things, right? And I'll put an extra step in there. Prioritize them. What is your it? It's best personally to get your biggest giant out the way because that one's holding you back the most. If you have 10 things, what's the number one thing holding you back? What's your biggest giant? Face that right now, right? So once you write that down, I want you to, going back to what I said in the beginning, is repent and humble yourself. Repenting is doing the wrong things towards this action and fear, or I need to change my thinking because I don't know what it is for you. That's what I need you to do. Third thing I need you to do, once you write that down, is list the strategies you're going to use to get out of this, right? You know what you've done in the past and that has not worked for you so far. So now I need you to write down what will work and go in with belief that will work out for you. Third thing I need you to do, fourth thing, third, fourth, I think I'm on the fourth. Fourth thing I need you to do is connect the why to each fear. So you know what's gonna happen if you don't. If I don't get my health right, I'm gonna shorten my lifespan and my kids won't be here for me. If I don't get this, if I don't reach my next promotion, I'm gonna continue living paycheck to paycheck. And my kids deserve this. I deserve this. My mom deserves this. I'm trying to retire. I can't do this forever. But whatever it is, write it down. And don't limit it to a sentence, 2 sentences, however long you need to write it down, write it down. And then the last thing is reverse that bad habits and turn them into good ones. And you know what's a bad habit, right? I wake up late. I wake up just to go to work. I don't give 30 minutes to myself. I don't give myself, I don't make myself a priority. What are those bad habits, right? I'm not hitting the gym. I'm not keeping the promises I said to myself, right? And I don't know what those promises are. And I keep on bringing up fitness because it's easy, but I promised myself I will work out twice a week, and I'm not doing that. And when you don't keep the promises to yourself, what happens is you start disbelieving yourself more and more. All right. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you go. I love you. I want you to win. Yeah. Don't trust yourself. If you don't trust yourself, Cedric, then get somebody who can help you trust yourself. I don't know if that was a typo or not, but believe in yourself. All right, guys.